Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. So, if you're tuning in, you've probably been feeling that itch, right? That undeniable urge to break into the tech industry, and specifically into the super dynamic, highly sought after world of data analytics. But let's be real. If you've done even a little bit of research, you already know the sheer amount of information out there is completely overwhelming. It's so easy to just get lost in this giant sea of tutorials, boot camps, and totally conflicting advice. Well, today, we're putting a stop to that. We are going to cut right through all the noise and demystify the path to becoming a data analyst with a crystal clear step-by-step roadmap. Let's dive in.
Now, before we get into the weeds, I want to anchor us to the core philosophy of this entire journey. It's really simple. Data tells the story, you drive the impact. You see, being a data analyst isn't just about crunching numbers in a dark room or staring blankly at giant spreadsheets all day. It's really about the narrative. It's about discovering those hidden truths buried within the numbers and then using those truths to drive actual real-world decisions. Basically, you become the storyteller of the business.
So, why even embark on this journey in the first place? Well, first off, you are future-proofing your career in a field where demand is just absolutely sky-high, which naturally brings some pretty attractive earning potential along with it. But honestly, beyond the great salary, this path offers immense flexibility. We're talking remote opportunities that let you work from practically anywhere. And on top of all that, you get to do work that actually matters, turning raw data into decisions that have a real tangible impact. That combination is just incredibly motivating. Okay, here's our game plan to conquer this mountain of info today. We'll start with exactly why you should choose data analytics. Then we'll walk through our core 7-step roadmap. After that, we'll map out the essential skills and tools you need, look at some example projects to build out your portfolio, and finally, we'll wrap up with a highly practical daily action plan. All right, kicking things off with Section 1. Why choose data analytics? If we take a giant step back and look at the big picture, the path to a data career is actually a beautifully structured progression. You really don't have to learn everything all at once. It's like a giant puzzle. As you move step by step, you transition methodically from the absolute bare-bones basics all the way to prepping for the actual job hunt. So now that we've got the 30,000-foot view of the landscape, let's zoom in a bit. Which leads us right into Section 2, the 7-step roadmap. This is where the magic happens, and it relies on an incredibly logical progression. First up, you've got your foundations. You have to start by understanding what data analysis even is, grasping things like data types, variables, and some basic stats. From there, you transition straight into Excel. Please do not skip this step. It is the absolute bedrock where you'll learn your formulas, pivot tables, and how to clean data. Then, once you inevitably outgrow Excel's limits, you naturally progress to SQL so you can actually talk to databases. Using queries to extract and clean massive amounts of data is just non-negotiable here. And notice, only after you've mastered extracting that data do you move into visualization. You literally cannot build a beautiful dashboard in Power BI or Tableau until you've successfully pulled and cleaned the underlying data using SQL. The sequence is everything. Once you've nailed those foundations, you escalate right into advanced application. That starts with learning Python basics for automation. You don't need to be a full-blown software engineer, but picking up libraries like Pandas and NumPy is going to let you do some seriously advanced exploratory data analysis. But here's the catch. Raw technical skills are completely useless if you can't apply them. That naturally leads us to building real-world end-to-end projects and case studies to show off in your portfolio. And of course, all of this culminates in the final step, getting your resume dialed in, practicing for interviews, and networking so you can actually get hired. Moving right along to Section 3, essential skills and tools. Let's talk about what you actually need to master. When we look at proficiency, Excel, SQL, and data visualization demand a maximum 5 out of 5. You've got to know them inside and out. But please, don't overlook the soft skills. Problem solving and communication are also rated a crucial 5 out of 5. Why? Because you could write the most complex, brilliant SQL query in the world, but if you can't clearly explain your findings to the marketing team, it just doesn't matter. Interestingly enough, Python and statistics require slightly less mastery right out of the gate. A solid 4 out of 5 is plenty to get your foot in the door. So make sure you prioritize your energy accordingly. And to actually wield those skills, here is your exact software ecosystem. You've got Excel and Google Sheets for the basics, SQL for handling your databases, Tableau and Power BI for making things visual, and then Python, Jupyter Notebook, and GitHub for your more advanced work. I want to assure you right now, this specific toolkit is the whole shebang. It's all you need to focus on.
When you're first learning, it is so tempting to get distracted by shiny new software or trendy programming languages. Don't do it. Stay completely laser-focused on mastering these specific industry standards.
All right, Section 4, Example Projects and Portfolios. Listen to me on this one. Projects speak way louder than certificates. Nobody just wants a piece of paper saying you finished an online course. Hiring managers want to see what you actually built with that knowledge. This is where you prove you can do the work. So if you love retail, go analyze an e-commerce data set or do some customer segmentation. More into finance or HR? Build out dashboards that track financial performance or employee retention. Honestly, whether it's supply chain logistics, analyzing a marketing campaign, or predicting customer churn, the trick is to pick a domain that genuinely interests you, grab a messy, real-world dataset, and build out a start-to-finish story.
Finally, let's bring it all down to earth with Section 5, your daily action plan.
So this right here is your daily action loop. You're going to start by defining your exact target role and a timeline. Then, you commit to studying consistently for just 1 to 2 hours a day. And during that time, you're actively solving problems, you're writing actual queries, and you're applying those new skills directly to your portfolio projects. Once you've got something built, share your work out there in LinkedIn or GitHub communities to get real feedback, and just keep iterating. The absolute biggest takeaway I can give you here is this. Studying 1 to 2 hours every single day completely beats trying to cram for 10 hours on a random Sunday. Consistency is everything. To really succeed on this path, keep these core principles in your back pocket. Like we just said, small daily progress beats no progress every time. You need to practice relentlessly, build your portfolio out in the open, stay intensely curious so you're learning something new every day, and don't be afraid to lean into networking with the broader data community. They're incredibly supportive. Let's wrap things up with this final thought. Do not give up. This roadmap proves that every single expert out there was once a beginner. It's totally okay and normal to feel overwhelmed at step 1. But you've got the map now. You know exactly how to reach the finish line. So I'll leave you with this. Are you ready to embrace being a beginner today so you can become tomorrow's data expert? It's time to break out of tutorial hell. Open up Excel or fire up a SQL database tomorrow morning and take that very first step. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy learning!